just like you said, the iconic location of the Field of Dreams, the romanticism of baseball, and like even in the movie, he phrases the question, "Is this heaven?" And he gets the response, "No, this is Iowa." So I think that's a location and something that the people of Iowa, and as someone that was born and raised there, you kind of held an affinity for that, just because it kind of gave your home area um, some notoriety, something to be known for. And yeah, people don't just drive to Dyersville, Iowa for any reason. It's this tiny little town in Iowa with a population of like 4,000 people. So people come there to go to the Field of Dreams. So I think to be able to have such a unique event at an iconic location was just a really neat opportunity for the state and its people. Yeah, so it started kind of through, I have a dual role right now besides my role with Texas A&M Athletics. Is right now I'm also serving as the president for our national professional association, which is the Sports Turf Managers Association. And so through that role as the president, I was collaborating on kind of a secondary project with Murray Cook, who's the gentleman who was in charge of building the field for the Field of Dreams game, and then continuing to maintain it. His company has overseen that now for the last 2 years. So I was on a phone call with Murray working on kind of a side collaboration project, and made a comment in passing about how he was probably spending a lot of time up in my old neck of the woods since I was born and raised in Iowa. And so when he found that out, he just kind of made a comment in passing, "Well, you should come up and work the game with us." And I was kind of taken by surprise, and I was like, "Well, if you're like, I would love that opportunity if you're serious. If you think you can get me the clearance with Major League Baseball." And he goes, "Well, yeah, I'm in charge of turning in who's working the game, so I can get you the clearance if you're in." And I'm like, "Well, sign me up." And it was just too good of an opportunity to pass up such a unique event that you weren't gonna be able to keep me from going to that. Yeah, one. And that was the great part. I actually, because my parents are still in my hometown, so because it was so close, I actually ended up just staying with them and commuted back and forth every day. So a little over an hour drive, but like I'd get home at the end of the day, and it'd be a 12, 15, 16-hour day, however long it was. And my mom would comment to me like, "Aren't you tired? Like, isn't this stressful and taxing on you?" And my answer was honestly no. Like, this is kind of my normal day as far as like what it requires on a game day, the number of hours. I said, if anything, it was more enjoyable for me because I could show up just as a worker. I wasn't the guy that had to be stressed about the weather, had to make every single decision. I just took whatever, that crew leader asked me, "Hey, we need you to do X, Y, and Z. If you can handle those for us," and I could just go and do them. And I didn't have to worry about everything else that was going on. That was someone else's worry. So it was really fun, stress-free environment. And I was able to just go up and enjoy the experience. My role was really coming in at the last minute. So, to act like I had a big role in the planning or the building or maintenance of it over the last 2 years would be disingenuous on my part. But my role was just to kind of come in and fill in as a crew member and help out wherever they needed me. So I went up there Monday, the week of the game. The game was on a Thursday. I flew into Iowa on Monday, went up there, worked Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday was really just kind of a field work day, trying to get kind of the fine details, things dialed in and getting things ready for the game on Thursday. Wednesday, we actually started to have some events and stuff that were going around, and there was a lot of rehearsals and practices on the field for what was going to happen on Thursday. And in addition, Wednesday, we actually had a Little League baseball game that actually got played on the movie site field. So we actually got to go over there and do a little bit of work on the movie site field, which was really kind of a neat opportunity too. And then Thursday, everything revolved around the actual Major League game itself, and bringing the fans and everybody into the stadium, and everything that would go with putting on a Major League baseball game. So normal field prep, setting up, tear down of batting practice, the game itself, and then kind of the post-game cleanup. So that kind of was all my role was involved with just that stuff. Is you think Field of Dreams and, everybody's images, the players coming out of the rows of corn in the movie. And so that was something they wanted to emulate, like with the player introductions. And if you watch the beginning of the game, Kevin Costner came out through the corn, the players came out through the corn. And so we had to be very, very protective of the rows of corn, especially with the rehearsals and the practices and all the stuff we had leading up to the event. On Tuesday, we actually had a severe thunderstorm roll through in the afternoon, and I think they actually classified it as like an F0 tornado just south of us. So we had, there were, I think I talked with the farmer that night who was responsible for growing the corn. He staked up over 1,000 corn plants by hand that night and the next day. So that was very unique from that perspective. And I think just the location in general. Like you went in there and it was hard. It was this pristine major league dimension field in immaculate condition. And it was just kind of in this, it was its own oasis kind of in a sea of corn. So it was just really just a neat environment, and, probably something I'll never kind of necessarily get to see or experience again. It was pretty limited. I talked with them in passing a little bit, mostly just asking, how the field was, and it was kind of fun to see their reactions because they all talked about, the Little League game that was played the day before. All those Little Leaguers kind of got to feel like major leaguers playing in that environment. Well, a bunch of them commented, well, today we kind of feel like Little Leaguers being able to come out to this unique field and a smaller stadium and just enjoy the game. My interactions, were more in passing with the players, just asking, if they're having fun, how the field was, and they all loved it. Oh yeah, I mean, that's like, you couldn't ask for a better ending. 4-7 going into the ninth, and the Yankees hit two-run home runs to take the lead, and then, just basically for it to end in a walk-off fashion. You couldn't have scripted it better. Like I kept joking with people, I'm like, it's almost like it was out of a movie.